Hey all, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the Xiaomi Mi Band 4. This is the 2019 edition of Xiaomi's very popular budget fitness tracker line, and this time around it brings a much-needed refresh with a color AMOLED display. The previous generation model, the Band 3, introduced touch sensitivity, but it was still a black and white monochrome panel, so now we have a bit of color, and it just looks a bit more modern and competitive with other trackers like the Honor Band 4 that we saw earlier this year, also with a color screen. Now we'll be doing a separate comparison with the Honor 4, which is coming out soon, so be sure to stay tuned if you are interested. But for now, we'll be just covering the Band 4 by Xiaomi exclusively. So let's start with the design. The Band 4 has overall the same dimensions as the previous generation Band 3, and as we talked about in our unboxing and first impressions video, you still need to remove it from the included silicone strap in order to charge it. What's different though is the charging contacts are now placed on the bottom, making the overall charging process a little bit easier compared to the Band 3, which had the contacts on the side, which was a little tougher to put in and remove each time. On a full charge, the Band 4 will last you for about 20 days before you need to recharge it again. It's going to be significantly longer than a regular smartwatch, and the fact that you can wear it for about 3 weeks before you need to worry about plugging it in is definitely an added convenience. Overall, the design of the Band 4 is attractive and lightweight. Because it's super slim and narrow, it's smaller than a smartwatch, it can remain almost invisible when you're wearing it in your day-to-day life, which is great. Core features of the Band 4 remain unchanged from the previous generation. We still have a heart rate sensor on the back, which can record continuous measurements when you're doing a sports session, but it still doesn't have built-in GPS, and the only difference is we now have a 6-axis accelerometer for motion sensing compared to 4 on the previous generation, which Xiaomi claims will give you higher accuracy in detecting number of steps you've taken throughout your day-to-day interactions. And also, unlike the Honor 4, even though it tracks sleep, it only does it at night. So no, it is unable to track naps during the day. So taking a closer look at the menu interface of the Band next, again we have a larger display which you can interact with. This is the main watch face. It shows you the battery percentage remaining, time and date information, and number of steps you've completed. Once this ring reaches 100%, it means you've reached your daily goal. Now I can also turn the display off just by putting my palm over it. There is a proximity light sensor. It helps detect whenever your sleeves are covering the display to prevent any accidental hits or triggers when you're not actually trying to use the band. So in terms of the status here, we're able to see number of steps we've taken today, distance converted, as well as calories burned and any idle alerts, which is basically sedentary, where we've sat for longer than say 30 minutes, it's actually going to vibrate and tell us to move around. Down below here, we can take a heart rate measurement. You can set it up in the app to take a measurement once every hour, or if you're performing a sports activity, it will be continuously on and tracking your fluctuations second to second. Down below here, we have workout, which are the aforementioned sports that the Band 4 supports. And again, we have slightly more that it offers compared to the previous generation model. However, again, if you do want to track your location on a map, basically GPS, you still need to be connected to your phone in order to access that function. Now we have the aforementioned swimming. We also have some gym activities now, such as weightlifting, in addition to the traditional treadmill, cycling, walking, and running. So for example, if we tap on this, again, right now we don't have GPS connected, but it will vibrate and in 3, 2, 1 seconds begin the session. Here we can see our weather information for today, the high, the low, and swipe down to also take a look at additional weather information for tomorrow and the day afterwards. So you get 3 days of weather info, and that's simply synced using the Mi Fit application whenever you sync it with your phone using Bluetooth. Next is notifications. You can read back quick text messages and emails as they are pushed along from your phone. That works all right, but you aren't able to reply to those messages. There is no built-in microphone, of course, so you can't use diction, and of course you really wouldn't want to type anything into such a small display anyways, but you can quickly see what's coming in at a glance. Now here we can also see more functions. We can activate a do not disturb mode. We can access some different alarms that I can turn on and off from the watch directly. You can set additional alarms from the Mi Fit app, and whenever the alarm rings, the band will simply vibrate to try and wake you up or give you a gentle reminder. Now, other functions under the additional features include using it as a music remote once paired to your phone. You can open the music player and then pause your music or skip tracks. There is also a version of the Mi Band 4 that has NFC built in that you can use tap to pay services with, which sells for about $10 more. Under band display, we can also change the watch interface. There's quite a few options that come preloaded, and in its memory, it's able to save one custom watch face that you can push over from the application. As a whole, the AMOLED panel being used here is very bright and vibrant. You can see that it's easily visible even when there's light pointing across it, and because it is an OLED screen, it offers very wide and generous viewing angles. Keep in mind that regardless of what version you pick up, the Chinese version that was released first or the international English version, both models will fully support any language, such as this version here is actually the Chinese model, but you can see all the menus are in English just by syncing it with your smartphone app. Whatever setting and language you have on your phone will be transferred over to the band. The application Mi Fit is the same one as on past generations of the band and offers a pretty attractive interface. Using Bluetooth 5.0, it syncs information almost instantly. Otherwise, I can pull down to manually refresh, and from here I'm able to see how many steps I've walked today, workouts I've completed, as well as how long I need to continue walking to reach my daily goal. It also shows my sleep activity, my deep sleep, light sleep at a quick glance. The next three tabs, walking, running, and cycling, are basically activities that you can trigger directly from the app, and it automatically turns on GPS on your phone to track your location as you are moving about, and also starts the continuous monitoring from the band. Anyways, if I want to take a look at more information, I can simply tap, for example, on the number of steps today, and this will show me periods in time where I was most active and the distance that I've walked, along with different types of trends I've had throughout the day, such as for 11 minutes I was really active, for example, slow walking, and then fast walking for 18 minutes at another particular time. Now I can also take a look at, for example, activities. That includes a fast walk earlier this morning. No GPS data was found because I didn't bring my phone with me, but it tells me kind of the activity duration as well as my average heart rate throughout the entire session, my average pace and speed, which is estimated, and my heart rate zone in terms of I was relatively relaxed and light during the majority of this particular walk that I had outside. In certain instances like the sleep tracking, it also gives you some additional information based on your statistics, like, for example, you've slept better than X percentage of users. I can take a look at my light versus deep sleep patterns throughout the entire night, the chunks here, and also specific recommendations that are given to your sleep. So there are a few intelligent recommendations going on. It's not going to be to the same extent as really using AI to specifically tell you, okay, you need to do this, you also need to eat more, you need to exercise more. It's not really a personal trainer per se, but does give you a few recommendations here and there, and otherwise just presents your information in a very straightforward manner. So these are the custom watch faces. Some of them are playful, taken from anime characters or manga characters, others which are a bit more serious and sporty. Any one that you want, you can simply tap on, it downloads within about 20 seconds, and then afterwards it takes another about 20 seconds to push that information over to the band using Bluetooth. And success! We now have this watch face, as you can see here, pushed over to the band. Again, took about 20 seconds or so. Now, when it comes to accuracy, which is the most important attribute of any tracker, I would say that the Band 4 continues the tradition of very good performance from the Mi Band line. Just like the Band 3, I didn't really have any problems when it comes to comparing number of steps with other trackers like the Honor Band 4. Shaking the band definitely doesn't confuse it for an accidental step. Just thanks to its advanced 6-axis accelerometer and algorithms, it seems to actually detect pretty well a real step from a fake step. Same thing goes with the optical heart rate sensor. It seems to hit the mark pretty well. At first, the measurement is a little bit on the high side, but it takes a few seconds to then calibrate itself, and then the measurement comes down a little, and it seems to get a very accurate result. When it comes to sleep, I also found it to be surprisingly good. The wake-up times are pretty much on the dot, although sometimes the fall asleep time would be a little bit inaccurate. It seems to have maybe a 10-minute delay, but overall the light versus deep sleep patterns I'm looking at are almost identical to the Honor Band 4, so it seems to be quite accurate in that regard as well. So that's pretty much it as far as our hands-on review of the Honor Band 4. Overall, again, the color display is really the big new selling point here, the fact that you can customize it with more watch faces and it has a slightly sleeker interface. I would say that if you are an owner of the older Band 3, there's not a huge reason to upgrade just because all the features remain largely unchanged. The sensitivity and accuracy of the sensors I find to be pretty much par on par. Software-wise, we also get pretty much identical features. There's still no blood pressure measurement or blood oxygen level like we see in some more advanced devices. You don't get some of the fancier tricks from Samsung's wearables like breathing guides and maybe additional applications. So it still is very much a simple activity tracker that gives you the bare essentials with a attractive lightweight design and a long-lasting battery life. So what that means is if you're in the market for a new fitness tracker and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would say that the Mi Band 4 is definitely one of the best values on the market in 2019, and certainly should be on the top of your list for consideration along with the Honor Band 4. However, again, if you are a previous generation owner, feature-wise, there isn't really a huge compelling reason to upgrade unless you definitely want that color display and you are dead set on getting those customizable watch faces, anime characters, and perhaps, yes, it is a way of making the tracker look a bit fancier, but underneath, the main features, again, are largely unchanged. So you can check out more details if interested in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been our hands-on review of the 2019 ultra budget fitness tracker from Xiaomi, the Mi Band 4.